So I think you're up next, but I pulled this example, so I want to talk about this. So curation is one of those buzzwords of the last like 5 years that gets mentioned like all the time. Did anyone talk about curation in like 2002? I really don't think so, but it just all of a sudden blown up. Curation is really simple. It's just finding good stuff and putting it all in one place and then basically recontextualizing it. And the reason why I have America's Funniest Home Videos is because TV is already doing this. This is not an internet thing. America's Funniest Home Videos is essentially the viral video half hour of TV. They just don't label themselves that way. They're ultimate curators. All right. Okay. Or is this me? You want me to do it all? All right, cool. So when you curate videos, you want to be the source, you want to be the tastemaker, you want to create connections. YouTube is a really social platform where when things happen, they get amplified, as any good social platform will do. So when you like a video, your subscribers see you like a video. When someone else likes your video, their subscribers see that as well. When you're playlisting things together, you're creating connections between videos. So I think that this is just really important for you guys to understand that curation, especially of other people's content, sometimes folks come up to me and says, well, I don't make any money. Well, no, that's not really the long-term view of it, because you will get audience from doing this in the long term, right? If you become the source, people are going to come back to you. Look at any, go ahead.
No, if I could just make a point on the other side of that, is finding the curators that are doing a really great job. You'll be able to, you could reach out to them and have them sort of be the curator of your material. So you don't necessarily have to be the curator yourself.
That's totally true. It's like building a blog relationship, really. I mean, on YouTube, I think that there's a whole community of people like super commenters and super curators that are emerging. We don't necessarily do the greatest job of like putting a nice little billboard of here are the top 10 people that you need to reach out to that like tons of videos and subscribe to tons of channels and have great taste. But really smart people are working on that. So if it happens soon, I didn't tell you. And we want to create connections. So this playlist, you guys should be using playlists in general. There are like 2 different ways of using playlists. One is, it's like a folder on your desktop where you organize something. Here are all the videos that have to do with X. Great, you can do it that way. Perfect use of playlists. The other way of using a playlist is, here's a programmatic, basically temporal thing. So you watch this video, then you watch this video, then you watch this video. I'm going to kind of lead you through the experience. Maybe it's chronology. Maybe you're looking at like the best music videos in chronological order of some artist. Maybe even you're getting in there and saying, you're talking into the camera and saying, okay, I'm going to curate this video and then I'm going to come back. So you see the video, it comes back. And it's like, okay, I'm going to curate this video and then it comes back to you again. You can make a playlist that every other video is you talking into the camera, and then that middle video is essentially whatever you're curating. So it's like a hosted playlist. I mean, essentially America's Funniest Home Videos could just be a YouTube playlist. Host talks, rolls video, host talks again, rolls video. Easy way of getting content onto your channel, right? So when you guys aren't up to creating like 5 or 10 minutes of awesome content and you need something to fill that space, curation is also a great way of doing that.
So a great example of that is Vsauce. Actually, you've seen Michael Stevenson. I mean, it's hard to kind of picture if you haven't seen these before, but he does a phenomenal job.
Right, and he's able to create a playlist which feels like one long video that is an hour and a half long, which I think prior to like 2010 on YouTube was unheard of. Who would sit in front of a computer for an hour and a half? Now that YouTube is on devices that connect to your TV, that's happening more and more. So I want you guys also, don't limit yourself to like 90 seconds. I don't think you are, but definitely don't think that way. All right, so now I'm going to get to sort of annotations. I think you guys all know annotations. How many of you guys use annotations regularly? Not every video, but like regularly enough. Okay, so I'd say like 20%. So for anyone who doesn't know what an annotation is, it's essentially a clickable layer that sits on top of the video that you're able to program after the video is uploaded. And it links to anywhere within YouTube. So imagine Mystery Guitar Man, who was telling us to subscribe to his channel, he was essentially pointing to little clickable layers that were all over his video screen. You can have a subscribe action be annotated. You can send people to a playlist. You can send people to your video. You can send people to another video. We have this thing called the merch store, which we're rolling out, that you can sell t-shirts and music from, and you can have people link to that too, which is really exciting. And there's all sorts of cool stuff you can do with annotations. I'm going to show you an example of an animator who essentially created this awesome end screen, and I'm going to talk about what that end screen is and kind of how you can do it yourself for some of your content.
Hey there, thanks for watching our short. We hope you liked it. Be sure to subscribe and don't forget to watch our other videos.
Also, we've got some good news. In between our monthly featured cartoons, we're going to give you weekly videos, deleted clips, behind the scenes, bonus shorts, any other goodies we can think of every Thursday. So, don't forget to come back for that.
It's really hard to see in these things.
We'll take off those silly glasses then.
I'm never taking off these glasses!
See you next Thursday.
So those are the voices of the two animators, and they had never done something like this, and I was working with them, and I said, guys, you have this amazing content. You're parodying the ends of awesome movies. You're animating them. You spend a month and a half on every single 3-minute video. You really need to focus people at the end of your video so they stay in your environment. YouTube is this place that's overwhelming for a user. Everything that you guys can do in the room to keep people in your world and to point them within your videos is crucial. Sometimes that's a spoken call to action, but if you match that up with an annotation, you're doing a really great job. I'm going to kind of go through the rest of this because I want you guys to talk to each other, so this is going to be real fast, I promise. Thumbnails. I mean, really, that's the takeaway here. Thumbnails are super important. Visually, we still click search results on YouTube based off of thumbnails. We still navigate the site based off of thumbnails and visuals. If you're not putting up good thumbnails, you're basically shooting yourself in the foot, and you're not really able to get the audience that you deserve. If you have access to custom thumbnails, partners do. You can upload basically a JPEG or PNG or GIF image. You can also, you have 3, I think, recommended thumbnails that you can choose between. Always go for the most clear shot. Don't scam. So way back in the day, YouTube worked that if you flipped an image at a certain point in the video, you could choose it as your thumbnail, and people would just flip like images of girls in bikinis, and that would be their thumbnail. Don't do that. It's not going to pay off. You'll get a lot of clicks, but then people just jump off, and then you're going to get really hurt because, as I said before, it's all about watch time. And then think small. So 120 by 90 pixels, if we have any graphic designers in the house. That's about the smallest and most pervasive placement of thumbnails on the site. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about keywords and titles because I think title's super important, but thumbnails is more important. So if you leave this thinking anything, it's, I need to be a partner so I can get custom thumbnails and upload them. Because YouTube is the 2nd largest search engine in the world. People are doing searches, staring at results, and they're choosing based off of thumbnails. All right. This is one of those transition slides that has really nothing to do with this section. I really like Fonz, and I really like our YouTube Analytics product, so I just said, this is going to be together, right? So like, what are your most viewed, by the way, everybody here has access to analytics. I don't know if you've taken a look. We've made some really awesome improvements over the last 12 months. You can see really quickly trends in terms of viewership, subscribers. You can see sort of what videos are driving subscribers. You can also, filter and look at individual videos, retention graphs, really neat stuff. You guys should always be doing this. Why? Because once you identify the hit, you can use an annotation to funnel people to the rest of your channel. The experience for everybody in this room, because the only partner I've ever worked with where people were actually searching for their name was Sesame Street. So Sesame Street's not here. Everybody in this room is getting people to watch their videos, and those viewers have no idea that you do regular content. They have no idea what your channel name is. If you don't keep them in the funnel, you're just going to lose them, right? So once you find your most viewed videos, sort of the latch points for your viewers, like the things that viewers find the most often, you need to turn that viewership into a sustainable audience. So analytics is the way you find your most viewed. You can find your highest rated, all the rest. I want to play a Zay Frank video where he basically took in 30 seconds and was able to kind of cut down what I had figured out over the course of 6 months. So just to give some background, you go to a movie, you see a great movie, you walk out of the theater and you're like, I want to go do something. I want to change the world, or I want to be Batman. I don't know, whatever you want to do after that. But on the walk home, you kind of dissipate, and you don't take any action. YouTube's totally different. You watch something awesome, or you watch something you don't like, you take immediate action. So, say Frank is going to talk about the potential energy of these actions.
Sometimes I like to make a crude map of these emotional reactions by looking at how people use the different opportunities that they have to react. For example, I recently released a video called Your Eyes Are Stupid, which a lot of people watched, and I used the ratings bar to get a general sense of the distribution of emotional reactions. About 1% of the people who watched the video had enough potential energy to rate the video, and it was mostly positive, about 9 to 1. About 0.1% of the audience actually got enough potential energy to leave a comment, again, mostly positive, a 9 to 1 split. This is sort of what I imagine the emotional reaction curve looks like. Most people that viewed the content had a mild to none reaction to it. Not enough potential energy to do anything, they just watched. But a small percentage got enough juice to act.
Okay, so I think that when you guys think about successes, early on you're not thinking about raw big numbers, right? You're really thinking about ratios, like how many likes to dislikes. If I got 1,000